Welcome to PSD Sports Talk. This is Randy McCoy along with my partner David Haase, and today we're going to be talking about Poudre High School basketball, both on the boys and girls side. We have Coach Jeff Schelly, Coach Curtis Glesmann. And first off, Coach Schelly, let's talk a little bit about your season to date and where your team is.
Sure, it's been kind of an interesting season, a little rough in terms of wins and losses. We just got our second win the other night, and I tell you what, wins are a lot more fun than losses. And with that, really our goal for the season has been to learn how to compete and pursue a win and be able to handle wins and losses the right way as they come. And I think our guys have done a really nice job in just continuing to improve even after losses and continuing to keep our heads up and be positive with one another and learn how to be a team in all of it. So overall, it's been a really rewarding season.
What about you, Coach? Give us a little bit about the girls team so far to date.
Yeah, we started off the year with a bang. We went on the road and played the #1 team, Sand Creek, in 4A, and we got a win there. And then the next week we played Longmont, which was ranked #2 at the time in 4A. So that gave us a lot of confidence heading into sort of the meat of the season, and we've picked up some key wins along the way. I know that the crosstown rival games are extra fun for the kids, and we've been able to pick up 2 against Rocky so far. So so far we're feeling pretty good.
Talk about your teams so far to date, but let's talk about some of those players you got. Coach Schelly, let's just focus starting off with Mitchell Yoakum and then look at Anthony Raffelli.
Sure, you bet. I think we've got a couple of clips for both of them, and Mitch has really been a pleasure this year. Was one of our strongest players as a junior, but as a senior has really had a lot of confidence. You see in that clip we just saw, step back 3. I don't think that was part of his game last year. Now he's been able to handle that, and teams know who he is now, so they really focus on him defensively, and he can still even find ways to finish with runners like that at the rim. And we've put a lot on him, expecting him to kind of do everything for us in a lot of ways, or we both offensively and defensively make his jobs pretty difficult, and he often doesn't even come out of the game. There you see Anthony Raffelli going to the rim. He was unable to play with us before the holiday break, but since the break he's been giving us about 10 points a game with attacks just like that, and he's super athletic as a guard and does a great job at the rim and can also make a jump shot from the perimeter.
And we talked about some of the rest of the kids you've got on your team too. Carlos Conde is somebody you want to mention too.
Sure, yeah. I don't know that we have any clips that would be great of him because he's been really a leader on the defensive end, which isn't always quite as much fun to watch. But he takes the defensive end seriously and is super disciplined. We had him guarding in our second win against Horizon, guarding their second best player, a really athletic kid that is great at slashing, getting to the rim. And Carlos just kept his chest in front for the whole game and shut the kid down. So I think that Carlos has really surprised us as a junior, been our #1 leader defensively.
And then adding to a couple other new players, Silcox and then also Kyle West.
Sure. Cutter Silcox surprised us, came out of the woodwork from Wyoming, and we're pleased to have him. We wish we would have had him in part of Colorado basketball a couple more years, but has really done a great job for us. Brings a physical presence that we just didn't have. And then Kyle West is another senior for us that has been consistently adding about 10 points a game in recent games. And the exciting part about Kyle is that he's really peaking at the part of the season where you want to see a player peak.
Switching over to the girls' side now, Coach Glesmann, you've got 5 seniors and certainly great stories with all of them, and then some underclassmen starting to contribute too. But we've got to start with Anna Haugen.
Yeah, Anna's she's a good player. She brings intensity on both sides of the floor. I think if we roll some clips here, we'll see a steal from Anna. I think she's one of the leaders in the conference and really among the state leaders in steals. And we'll also see that she's good at really taking the ball to the rim, and she can finish with the right or the left that you see there, which is great. And then she's just a leader on the floor. I think you've referred to her as the quarterback in the past, and she does a great job with that.
And sliding over, think about another one of your seniors, Cecilia Berkner.
Yep, Cecilia, we call her Seal. She's a great player. She does a good job of finishing at the rim. I think we'll see a couple clips of her with some finishes at the rim. She's also one of our leading rebounders, and what makes her a good finisher is her body control around the rim. She can absorb some contact and finish the shot, which is great.
And figuring into that game plan for you also is Madison Ham in the low post.
Yeah, she's done a nice job this year as well. She's added a few tricks to her bag of tricks there, and in the past she's been really reliant on just turning to her left shoulder and going to her right hand. But I think we have a clip of her coming up, and she uses her left hand on efficient finish.
That low post move, the little baby left hook there, and makes it such a tough thing. Well, here it is right here. She's got great post position, turns, and just like Coach showed her in practice, right?
Yep, we work on that a lot, but that's her, not me. She's the one. I think it takes a lot of guts from the kids to kind of move out of their comfort zone, and she's done that this year, so I'm really proud of her.
Let's talk about some of the rest of your seniors, too, and then those underclassmen.
Yeah, I'd have to say that Ashley Sikorsky and Emily Tomasini have stepped up big for us this year. It's not always the case. I think a lot of times seniors think, all right, it's my senior year, I'm just going to be better. And it doesn't just happen. You have to put in the work, and they have, and they've come up big in big games for us.
And then you got Mackenzie Gertz, who stepped into a scoring and shooting role for you too.
Yep, I'm sure our opponents don't like seeing her out there. She's just another good player to have to think about and game plan against. And she's really been a great addition both on the floor, and she's just such a likable kid that she was easy to integrate into the team as well.
You know, the Front Range League is always one of the tougher leagues basketball in the state. Let's talk a little bit about just what your all's take on the conference this year, Coach Schelly. On the boys' side, just highlight 2 or 3 or 4 teams that you think really have a chance to win this conference.
Sure, you know, Boulder is the best team that we've played so far, and I think really the team to beat in our conference, but there are another few teams that are really strong. Gosh, both Fossil and Collins in the city games I think are going to be really tough, and then Greeley West and Broomfield are also great teams. So the fun part about the Front Range League on the boys' side is I think there are a lot of top teams that are really going to be competing all the way to the end.
Well, and what we've noticed so far on the boys' side, everybody's just beating up on each other, and you know everybody's going to have 2, 3, maybe even 4 losses by the end of the year because a lot of teams are coming up and winning big games. You know, we watched Horizon barely beat Fossil Ridge, and then you all turn around and beat Horizon. So there's been a lot of games like that. What about on the girls' side? Seems like it's Broomfield, and then everybody else is trying to reach their state championship form.
Sure, you know, Broomfield, they're the defending state champs, and they won the conference last year, so winning the conference definitely goes through Broomfield. I think Fairview, Horizon, and Fossil will also have something to say to that, along with ourselves at the end.
Yeah, Fossil played Broomfield very close the other night, right before this taping. Lost by 1 point on a free throw with 1.9 seconds, so that kind of showed that Fossil Ridge could play with them.
Well, speaking about a couple old coaches, we have to see our kids after we've had the chance to coach them. You've got some seniors, and as they move on, let's talk about what you think they're going to gain from getting out of school and moving forward.
Boy, I hope that basketball is something they look back at and say that was really a challenge and preparation for the real world. I'm excited to see where they all go. I've got 6 seniors that are all really quality guys, and 2 guys that I haven't mentioned, both Alan Diaz and Alon Estrada, guys that haven't necessarily played as visual role as the others on the team, but really, again, play leadership roles. Alon Estrada, a guy that is constantly smiling and encouraging his teammates, and Alan Diaz, just a guy that I can put in for a few minutes at a time, and he's physical and great rebounder and does kind of the dirty work. So, I think just being willing to do some of those things that aren't as much fun, hopefully all of them are prepared to go on to their post-secondary world and make an impact.
Now let's talk about some of your players too, Coach.
Yeah, I think we've got a great group. We have a lot of seniors that are going to be in the running for some academic all-state awards. Anna Haugen is going on to the South Dakota School of Mines and Technology to play basketball, and that suits her very well. She's a very smart kid, so I think being at a tech school is going to be really good for her. And then, just the rest of the kids, I think there's just such an enjoyable group that I think that they'll have a lot of good memories to look back upon.
So when you look at this year right now, and you say these are the things that really make me happy when I think about my team, and not necessarily the wins and losses and everything, but you form a great bond with your players. I know from coaching for years, and it does become a family. Just tell us some of the happiest thoughts you have right now of this team in general.
Sure, kind of what I was talking about before, being able to react appropriately to losses, which we've had a lot of experience with. And I think a lot of times we get to learn more valuable lessons from a loss than we do from a win. And this team in general has handled that really well, and they've grown it as a group, and they've continued to be willing to work hard in even the most challenging moments. So it really has been a fun year.
What about you, Coach Glesmann?
Yeah, I think 2 words that come to mind are likability and determination. There's just such a fun group to, we see them 6 out of 7 days a week, and, seeing them that often, you want to hope that you are working with some kids that you really like, and they certainly fit the bill there. And their determination has just been great. There were some games last year that didn't go the way that we would like them to, and we turned that around this year. And so just working with anyone who is determined, regardless of the outcome, is really fun.
Yeah, and you've had a good run here, Coach Glesmann, with the Poudre girls getting to the Final Four, 2 years ago, and we expect to see you deep in the playoffs this year as well. So anyway, that's it for here. This is Randy McCoy, David Haase, the Poudre basketball coaches. Thank you for watching PSD Sports Talk. We'll see you next time.